Hello folks, this is JP on my YouTube channel, and I'm keeping my identity concealed as far as YouTube. So I'm going to use this channel about Jesus Christ and gun safety. So maybe it will help prevent some firearms accidents out there. But anyways, give my life to Jesus Christ. And I was on a backsliding spree. Like I said in the other video, I only had 5 views on that video, but if it's just 1 view, that's all that counts. So it's Christ and guns. So talking about Jesus Christ, we can at least pull out a gun in the video, and keeping everything discreet because of safety concerns or whatever. But I was gonna show my new washer that I had got, and I'm not familiar with these. And so the first thing you do when you when you first get a gun, the first thing you do is check the gap sheet. Make sure that it's clear. And so that weapon is clear. So there's nothing in the chamber. So, and I did the reviews on these right here, and so different AK variants, they shoot differently. There's some of them that will shoot only about an 8-inch group with a sharpshooter. I'm talking about somebody that can shoot about an 8-inch group at 100 yards. And so they did the test. I seen the test with a sharpshooter, and the sharpshooter with the scope was able to shoot about a 3/8-inch group at 100 yards, something like that, about like that. And so that same scope, and with him at the helm of it with the washer, it was able to shoot 4 right there about on the 5-inch group at 100 yards. So that means, that this right here is I would say a good 100-yard deer hunting gun. I don't know if I would step it out past 150 with that, because you don't want to get outside the vitals. So you have about a place about a 6-inch place for vitals. So I would say, I think I'm gonna take it out and do some hunting. But I had to pay. These guns you could get them for $400, and I'm not an expert on these. This is my first one. But my friends used to have I remember, I wish I would have got it. I wish I would have got them when I could. My friend had a whole box of SKSs and was selling them for was like, who wants an SKS? And I was like, I used to not be interested in, and was selling for like $150 and $200. And I had a slew of them back when I was younger, and I didn't get any of them, and I wish I would have, because these things right here, people used to get them for $400, and now on average these right here, between the washers, the Romanian washers, is like between $700 to $1,000. Anywhere between that. If you get one for cheaper than that, you're lucky. That's what I say I'm averaging online, and that's what this one right here was for at the gun shop. It was $750 plus tax, and that's what this one is. It's a Romanian washer, and but it's one of the cleanest guns that I had gotten used. This one was on consignment, and so first thing I do is, when you first get a new gun, you need to take it completely apart, because sometimes they have packing grease. But when I took this one apart, I'm not going to break it down because I don't want to get hops all over my mom's house. But it only looked like it had maybe 1 shot. It only looked like maybe it only had 1 shot's worth of powder in it. It was very, very clean. I'm talking like immaculately clean. I right at the bore brush. I went ahead and I did my dad's routine. I went ahead and stuck a bore brush down it and everything, and I took the bolt out, and the bolt is in immaculate condition. I took the bolt, and I took and put oil around the bolt, and then put the bolt back in and everything, and I oiled the rails and everything. So I don't want to take it apart, because all the rails and everything is oiled, it's ready to go. And I'm going to take it to the range this next week and just plink with it. But instead of putting a scope on it, I'm just going to get where I can get the best I can with it, with the sights, and get some core locks for it, and see if I can't get a deer for it. And so the only reason I'm not gonna do any bump firing is because I don't want to get the barrel hot and everything. I'm gonna try to keep it where I don't want it to get any looser than 5-inch grooves. So that's what it's gonna be for. But I figured I would show off my new washer, and I'm gonna try to get a deer with it. So I am going to. The only thing it's going to be used for would be used for no kind of terrorist attacks, and only be used for deer hunting and plinking, because the bullets are cheap. I can't afford to shoot my Brown and A bolt. So, anyways, that is what it is. I'll try to do a close up on it, and then when I get back from the range, I'll take it completely apart, and I'll take the bolt out and everything, and show how good everything else works. But since it's already lubed up, hops down the rails and everything, and ready to go, I'm just gonna leave it like that, so I don't have to reapply any more oil to it. But so I will. The only way a weapon should be fired is if somebody or at somebody else, is if it's a life-threatening situation. And if somebody, I figure I was gonna go over gun rules every chance I get on here, especially since I got my identity concealed. But I'm gonna put, when I do the videos, I'm gonna put a gun in front of it like that right there to like try to catch the viewer's attention. People's in the guns or whatever. But there's two people in this state that has got shot for pulling in the wrong driveway and knocking on doors. And even my dad seen somebody on his camera that was in his yard, and that person that was trespassing in my dad's yard for whatever reason, in my opinion, does not deserve to be shot for walking in the wrong yard. And anyways, you cannot legally open fire on somebody unless they are actually in your house, or if they are in your yard, they gotta have a weapon on you, or it's got to be a life-threatening situation. You do not pull a trigger on somebody under any other circumstance. And I'm not trigger happy if somebody were to break in my house, or I'm at my mom's house right now. If somebody were to break in, if I seen hands and they took off, I wouldn't shoot, even though I had the legal right because I got the Castle Doctrine. But if I don't see hands, that's the first thing I do. If somebody, I'm sure there was in the house, I'll rock around and hands like that right there. If I don't, it's over for them. And but that's about the only reason, legal grounds you have in this state where I live at to open fire on somebody. Anything else other than that is pretty much murder or manslaughter, or whatever you call it. But I was going to go over some more safety issues. So as good as condition as this gun is, and when I took the bolt out, I was making sure nothing was sticky inside the bolt. And so this gun, 110% is going to run safe. And even the clip, when the clip lines up, you can look at it and tell that there's pretty much no way there's no reason for it to fail. And I'm still not going to rack one around in the house. And the reason being is because I've only had 2 firearms accidents before. And one of them was with a 22 Marlin. I had the gun out of stock. I was cleaning it, just doing it, because once a year I take my guns completely out of stock, like my dad does. That's what I was taught by my dad, and I would clean them. And for whatever reason, I didn't have the spring hooked up good. And so I was outside, and I put a round in it, and I racked it. As soon as it came down, it slammed fire. And thankfully it was outside. There was no finger in the trigger guard. And so that's one reason that I don't rack rounds in the house, because even if it's pointed in a safe direction, if your gun slam fires, then you got a hole through the wall, or you got a hole through the floor, you got a hole through the ceiling. And then I had one go off. I touched a Remington 700. It was a inadvertent discharge because the trigger connector lost contact with the trigger. And when I touched the safety lever, and it had a round in the chamber, and the gun was propped up in the corner, and I just reached over and I just barely touched the safety lever on the 7mm 08, and boom, and blew a hole, slapped through the roof of the house. And my brother-in-law had to come over and get on top of the house and patch the hole that blew a hole through. And so, in my book, and my parents had tried to caution me with that. My mom, she even ran in my room and took all my guns from me and put them up. And I'm glad to have a mom like that. Now I know why she did that. Now I've been accident-free for 8 years. And there's only one exception to that rule, and that's with a semi-automatic handgun. That I'm not going. I do take it apart and inspect it, but I'm not going to carry a semi-automatic on a dead chamber just because. That would be about the time something would go wrong. These right here, if you can keep them in the clip, and they're pretty much always going to rack as long as you got a good clip. As long as nothing's funny going on up here. But anyways, I figured I'd put that out there. Just be careful about my rule of thumb is I won't keep one in the chamber unless you absolutely have to. If it's a bolt action, you got a bolt gun in your house, and you're using that for self-defense, they're very seldom ever going to hang up. Or a pump shotgun, if an intruder's coming in, you can always keep that gun cold and just keep bullets in the clip, and then rack one or bolt one or whatever. And like this right here, like if I'm in my house, I've got a handgun sitting in here that has got one in the chamber for self-defense. So I'm not even gonna bother putting any in this washer. But if I'm using this right here for my home self-defense gun, I'll probably have some in the clip. But under no circumstances, even at my own house, will there be one in the chamber unless an intruder's in the house. I mean, if I hear the front door creaking or whatever, at that time I'll go ahead and rack one, and it's probably best to go ahead and get on, down the road or whatever, or I'll, hands, but I don't want to shoot somebody, but that would be the only reason that the one would end up finding its way in the chamber. So anyways, I got some more guns I'm gonna get as soon as I get my finances straightened out in the next few months. I'm going to get me a 5.56. So the gun shop up the street sells brand new ones for $400, and I'm going to get Picatinny rail on that, and we're going to see what that would do. And then so I'm going to, since my identity is concealed on here, I'm going to start. I'm going to show them off and do some gun safety stuff. So anybody that's wanting washers and stuff like that, better get them while you can, because the price keeps going up and up. And that's about what they're worth. These right here in good shape, and that's about as cheap as you're going to be able to get them for. If you can get one for $500 or $600, you're lucky. I mean, you'll be real lucky. That's about what they're going for. And so since this one is in such good shape, I'm going to baby it. I'm not going to get out doing rapid fire stuff with it. Can if I want to, but I'm not going to. Not unless it's a dire need of self-defense situation. So for going out hunting, I'm just going to give me a 10-round clip. I am going to keep high capacity magazines. I am going to get a 75-round drum for it and put it in the closet and keep a bunch of bullets just in case. Chaos were to break loose in the United States. Like say if it were to be a state of emergency and citizens have to start like they do in Ukraine or wherever, and they say the citizens have to take up arms and everything. At that point in time is when I put a 75-round drum in it and defend my own home, defend myself the best I can from my living room. But other than that, it'd be used for hunting. Other than a state of emergency crisis like that, and that's all this washer right here be used for, is target practice, plinking, and deer hunting. And that's what responsible gun owners should do. And there are people out here going out here and committing armed robberies with these things right here. It tries to it makes it look bad on people like me and you that just goes out to the target range. We just go out shooting, plinking, and hunting, and that's all we use our guns for. And God forbid self-defense. That's another reason they're there for self-defense. God forbid, hope and pray never have to use one in self-defense. But that's the only reason they should be used for it. So anyway, keep that in mind with the gun safety stuff. And so the very next video, I'm not going to break this thing back down until I get back from the range. I'll be going to the range, and then I'll make a video of pulling this thing apart. I'll take the bolt out of it and everything, and give it a nice good clean again. So anyways, peace, God bless. Jesus Christ, if He can do it for me, He can do it for you. that he's literally, there's no sexual immorality in any form. There's no hatred towards anybody in any form. It's just I just don't feel that. I just feel like it's all gone. And like in Romans chapter 6, that that's buried with Christ, with Jesus Christ. And he took a beat on that cross. If we sit and think about it, what he went through to take our sins from us and to change me and you from our ways. So that's we have to, whatever the sin is, we have to be willing to change. I'm not going to commit that sin anymore. Is it adultery? Is it something online, sexual? Is it hatred? Whatever the case is, idolatry. Putting things before God. You putting hot rods before God. You putting guns before God. We need to be putting God here, number one. And he says, pray. He says, I'll give you the desires of your heart. So if you like guns, cars, and stuff like that, pray for those, and he'll give them to you. He'll give you the desires of your heart. But keep God up here, God number one, and everything else down here. And I can feel goosebumps coming on me now. And I know that's the Holy Spirit. So anyways, peace, God bless, and shoot safe.